Wednesday Night Basketball. The dynamite dual threat at small forward Danny Granger and the Indiana Pacers go up against the San Antonio Spurs and their definition of the power forward position, Tim Duncan.
And there's the guidance from Greg Popovich prepping his team. Greetings, everyone. Kevin Harlan here alongside my partner, Clark Kellogg. Glad to have you join us tonight. For the Pacers right now, they're focused on getting off to a good start to the road trip here.
Kevin, this is what I call a boomerang road trip. It's not very long, but they'll have a chance to get some things done here.
Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. Danny Granger and Tyler Hansbrough make up the forwards. Collison is out there with Jones and Hibbert. And for the Spurs, Manu and Jefferson on the wings. Duncan out there with McDyess and Parker. Clark, the Pacers just could not find a way to win on the road. What were they, 9-32?
9-32, Kevin, the second worst road record in the East. And they really struggled in enemy territory, in part because they never established themselves as a defensive team, and they had some injuries as well.
Here is Parker. Pass to Duncan. Hansborough's there. The 10-footer. No good from Duncan. A slight dip in production last year from Duncan. But Clark, he kept doing what he has done his entire career. Win, for one thing.
Yeah, just under 18 points a game for him last year, Kevin. Actually the lowest of his career. But considering the minutes he played, his efficiency was at about the same level that it's been at his whole career.
And with Tim Duncan, as long as he's on the floor, even if he's not filling it up, he's always going to be a factor.
You said it, Kevin. You still have to double team him because he's a force in the paint. His skill set is such that he can score the ball if you don't double team him, especially when he's healthy. What's amazing to me is how he's become more of a coach on the floor for the Spurs.
Now let's find out what head coach Greg Popovich has to say to Doris Spurs. Doris?
Kevin, the main point of emphasis he passed along to his players was to keep their focus and intensity on the defensive end. He thinks that if they turn in the kind of defensive effort they're capable of, they'll feed off it at the other end of the floor. Gentlemen?
Thanks, Doris. So defense is the key early on.
You know, it's not surprising, Kevin, when you think about the great team. So much of their game planning really starts at the defensive end of the floor.
And here's McDyess. A 10-footer, and that's good for two.
I bet the defense was a bit surprised when they saw him finish that play.
Parker against Collison. He dumps it off. Pass to Granger. The shot is off. Now San Antonio the other way. This game against Indiana, the first game of the NBA's regular season.
Swept them last season, 2 of their many wins.
Here's McDyess. He's against Hibbert. Fades back. McDyess, good.
You've got to close out on that mid-range jump shot.
So it's Indiana now. Hibbert with it. Here's Granger, and he lays that one up and in for 2. Granger's got his first points of the night. Interconference play, sometimes, Clark, a chance to steal one from a big shot team in the other conference, but that's not the case here.
No problems at all handling an underperforming team from the other side of the league.
Hansbrough with the ball. Over Jefferson. Hansbrough misses.
The defense couldn't close out on the mid-range J, and the shooter made them pay.
Ginobili kicks to Parker. Pass to Jefferson. And the first shot of the night for him, no good. So it's Indiana now. Here's Jones. Nails the bank shot. Jones has got his first points of the game. San Antonio trailing here. Parker passes to Ginobili. Back to Parker. And almost gets it to go, so he'll shoot 2 here. Though they were bounced out, Clark, early in the postseason to the Suns, Duncan still showed he can be effective.
You're exactly right, Kevin. He saw a slight increase in his production and logged a lot of minutes in their 2 series. You know, when the games are on the line, he showed he can still go the distance.
And the second free throw, good. Here's Collison. Now Hibbert. And here's Hansbrough. Here's Granger. Rebound by Tony Parker. But with that, you have to make sure you limit Duncan's minutes in the regular season.
Exactly. I mean, the Spurs are past playing just to make it into the playoffs, Kevin. They are looking for rings, and the best way to do that is to keep Duncan fresh come springtime.
The and one is good, so a three-point play that time. Well, you look at Tony Parker last season, a tough one for him with his numbers worsening in almost every category.
You know what? I think spending his summers carrying the French national team, Kevin, finally caught up with him, and he said as much himself.
That's a good point. And the first one drops. Looking at Danny Granger, a great wing player taken out of New Mexico, taken number 17, in fact, by the Indiana Pacers, Clark, back in 2005.
Boy, and that's a great value at that pick, Kevin. I mean, he's turned into their franchise player. 2 seasons ago was his big breakthrough. He's an all-star. They run their offense through him, and he's responding, finishing 5th in the league in scoring.
And the Spurs making a change here. Jefferson's shot is off.
That's not something you'll see very often. Got the mid-range jumper he wanted, but off target.
Jones. The shot's good. Collison making the play. Jones has got his second basket of the night. But Clark, last season, Granger's shooting percentages fell across the board. He was still a top 10 scorer, but the efficiency wasn't quite there.
Injuries played a part in that, Kevin, and also the supporting cast was a little disjointed. He needs some help, there's no doubt about that. They need another high-level point producer to do the Pacers to help Danny Granger out.
The Pacers making a switch here. Nick Roberts is checked in. The free throw drops for Duncan. 19 wins against the East for the Spurs last season.
You know, that's actually up 1 from the season before, Kevin, when they had 18 and a better overall record. So a very similar performance year to year for the San Antonio Spurs.
Here's Parker. Here's Jefferson. Pass to Duncan. Sinks the open shot. Duncan's got 6. Pacers trail by 3. And here's Collison. Not on the scoreboard yet. Here's Granger. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison.
He's just so gifted offensively. He's a tough guy to match up with.
Here is Parker. About 7.5 minutes left in the first. Back to Duncan. Fires from the right block. The shot misses. And it's the Pacers taking it the other way.
He hasn't been able to get on track here.
Now Collison. Here's Hibbert. Puts the hammer down.
I did not see that coming. He's one of the last guys you'd expect to flush it.
Let's be nice here, Clark. He looked pretty darn good on that one.
I'll agree.
Nice second look we just had there with our Sprite Slam Cam. And so here is San Antonio, following the score by Indiana. Here's Ginobili. Blows the layup. Here's Indiana now. Back to Jones. Guarded now by Duncan. Jones, the pass to Hibbert. Here's Granger. Kept alive. The second chance effort. And it's Hibbert missing. Here's Jefferson. Here's Bonner. And yep, that falls, and the foul is called. We'll see him shoot one from the free throw line. The Pacers making a switch here. George is checked in. And he makes the free throw. The Spurs keep chugging along. Another year, another solid home record for them.
Boy, they make it look so easy, Kevin. I mean, they just go about their business, professional, proficient, unflappable. I mean, you can almost bank on them for 30 home wins every season.
Here is Parker. Just over 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Outside, Ginobili. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Ginobili's got himself on the board with 3 there. So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. And while we can, here's a look at the teams that had the fastest hands in the league last season. You look at the Spurs. This is a team that likes to cause some havoc. The best in the league at it.
Yeah, and because of that, Kevin, they were one of the best defenses last year as a team. I mean, they led the league in steals, and that's not an easy thing to do. I mean, that's hard work and concentration.
And the Spurs making a change here. And here's Collison. Manu Ginobili getting his 3 to go. Stolen away.
Things got jammed up near the rim, and that left a golden opportunity for the steal.
And Jefferson gets it to go.
Excellent defense, and the steal earns them a quick bucket in transition.
Outside Collison. Here's Hibbert. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
This is one of the key reasons why they're losing. You have to get more production out of your core star players.
Pacers trail by 4. Jones with it. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Tough interior defense means not allowing easy baskets. Good foul.
And that one misses. We get a look at the Pacers here. What does this team need to do to get on top?
I think they need another star next to Danny Granger, and they need the continued development of young players. Brandon Rush, Roy Hibbert, and certainly a good play at the point guard position would help also.
Let's go to our great sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for an update. Doris?
Well, guys, the Spurs knew they needed some fresh legs coming into this season, and they managed to bring in an old name. Their 2007 draft pick, Tiago Splitter. Splitter had continued playing in Europe and was one of the most dominant big men outside of the NBA. An athletic defender with an offensive game that's grown by leaps and bounds. The Spurs were finally able to make the numbers work, and Splitter should be able to give them a big infusion inside. We'll see, gentlemen.
Interesting. Thank you, Doris. Here's Duncan, and it's good on the assist by Parker. Duncan's got his 3rd basket of the night. Collison against Parker. Here's Hibbert. Fouled as he went in for the jam. The D saved the dunk, and he'll shoot free throws. These Spurs struggled a little bit out of the gates last season.
And that can be expected, Kevin. I mean, a veteran team, they understand how they have to pace themselves into the season, so they won't go full speed out of the gate typically.
Here's Parker. About 4.5 minutes left in the first. Here's Hill. The shot, no good. And Indiana will go the other way with it.
There's another example, Kevin, of how they're hustling to all the missed shots to get an edge in the rebounding area.
And then Hibbert with the dunk. And it's that hustle, Clark, that translates into more opportunities, getting going fast here.
Yep, exactly right. They're really going after it to start this game. A nice, good start for them.
Hill up top, defended by Jones. Raises up. Hill, no good. Indiana leading. Baseline jumper. Jones, no luck. And it's the Spurs ball. Trailing by 2. Takes a 3. Hill, no good. Here comes Collison. Grant Hill covering. Outside Collison. It's tipped.
He knew exactly where the ball was going and got a hand on it.
Jones against Jefferson. Here's Duncan. Too much mustard on that one. Just over 3 minutes left in the first quarter. He's picked up by Parker. Collison against Parker. Here's Jones. The shot's good. Collison making the play. Jones has got 10 points.
Well, he's really been big for their team, finding a way to consistently get it done on the scoreboard.
Checking out Collison. He's another one of those point guards, Clark, who slipped through the cracks on draft day.
You know what? Ironically, he went with the same pick, number 21, as Rajon Rondo 3 years earlier.
Isn't that interesting? Here's Parker over Collison. San Antonio again missing. And it's the Pacers ball. A big stretch here going 10-2. George, defended by Jefferson. Clock at 4. Got a hand on it.
They're making an early statement here. I mean, crashing the glass and cleaning up every miss.
Outside Hill. Jefferson tries to drop it in, but it won't go. And it certainly seems like they have gotten every miss.
Well, Kevin, they're +5 right now, which is a good margin to start a game.
Here's Parker. 1:37 left in the first. Leads him with the pass. Picked up by Collison. And that one's good. Parker's got his second bucket of the night.
Kevin, this has really been a competitive, fun game.
Hibbert inside. 6 points for him. Can't hit the reverse layup.
It's not been a day to remember, but if they get the win, I'm sure being the team player that he is, he'll be fine.
From 17 feet out. Hill, no good.
Something about his game looks off here. He's just been out of kilter, not in rhythm. I know they'll need him to turn it around if they're going to be successful.
Here's Jefferson. And Duncan throws it down.
With his length, Kevin, he doesn't necessarily have to go way up top to throw it down.
Here is Collison. 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Hibbert. And once again off the mark by Indiana. San Antonio trailing here. Jefferson dishes to Duncan. And closing the shot, even with the foul. Now the 2 free throws.
Contact certainly altered that shot. The official was right on top of it.
First free throw is good. Both teams will make substitutions. And he ties it up. Here's Collison. He's guarded by Hill. Hill against Collison. Inside. Tipped.
And you look at what they've done, or rather what they haven't done, it's hold on to the ball. They've had 4 turnovers already this quarter.
It's the end of the first with a tie game here, and already these offenses, Clark, are clicking. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports.